Mountain Man fungi. We now know that mycorrhizal mycelia gather vital nutrients such as phosphorus, nitrogen, potassium, copper, and zinc that's out of reach of the plant's roots. This symbiotic relationship is over 400 million years old. Given that time, imagine what has evolved within some sacred plants that cultures have been using for thousands of years. Whether you reside in the belief of spirits in these plants, or entertain the idea that it's no more than a chemical reaction inside the brain, or something else entirely that we can't suppose, it's undeniable that the experience is something astoundingly alien, beautifully profound, and immensely important to people and cultures to this day. My question is if mycorrhizal fungi can transport nutrients and medicinal chemicals such as ergothioneine, which I talked about in the last video, to plants, is it possible for the mycelium to have an impact and production and evolution of these sacred plants and the experiences that they give? I think the idea that these plants have chemicals that cause such a profound effect on humans, no matter what the method of ingestion, and mixed with other plants, because of the influence and assistance of mycorrhizal fungi, isn't such a far-fetched hypothesis. Sacred mycorrhiza hypothesis, if you will. When plants and fungi interact with each other on a cellular level, for example, the way our vascular mycorrhizae are able to penetrate the cell wall and gain a very intimate connection with the cell membrane, the fact of how powerful these chemicals are, it must have some sort of an effect on the plants producing them, the mycelium interacting with the plant, and the human ingesting it. It's a triangular ecosystem between these three intelligent beings. Chemicals like caffeine, N,N-dimethyltryptamine, tetrahydrocannabinol, nicotine, lysergic acid amine, mescaline, sugar, salvinorin alpha, and so on, are all chemicals that have an effect on humans and mammals. And what I'm proposing is that these chemicals either also have an effect on the mycelium, would not be present without the mycelium, or would not be near as chemically potent as they are without the mycorrhizal connection. It has been proven that plants such as coffee, cacao, tobacco, and green tea have and benefit from mycorrhizal species. Other sacred plants like Banisteriopsis caapi and Salvia divinorum do not have literature that I have found about mycorrhizal connections. But given the fact that 92% of plants do have this connection, chances are very high in that favor. I think brews like yage and ayahuasca would benefit from mycoheterotropic connections, given that they are deep in the Amazonian jungle. Mycoheterotrophia is when a plant loses its chlorophyll, not allowing it to utilize photosynthesis, making the plant fully reliant on fungi for its nutrients and carbon. Plants like Banisteriopsis caapi, Psychotria viridis, and Diploteris capenora could very well benefit from this type of connection because of the understory of the Amazon being extremely dense and shaded from sunlight, enough for the plant to benefit from mycoheterotrophy. As I mentioned before, plants such as coffee, tobacco, cacao, green tea, and even cannabis have all been found to have one or many different species of mycorrhizal fungi present, and experiments have shown significant increases in plant health, production of chemicals and root biomass, photosynthetic rate, and ability to survive stressful conditions. Coffee arabica has had 42 identified arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi, such as Acaulospora, glomus, Ambispora, and Rhizophagus, to name a couple of the genus groups. Tobacco, Nicotiana tabacum, showed significant symbiosis with Acaulospora, Funneliformis, and Rhizophagus. Cannabis with Funnellophorus mossiae, and the list goes on. I think that with studies and experiments such as these are vital to the understanding of the ecosystem from the micro to the macro, and just how these plants come to produce such powerful and profound chemicals. I was unable to find any information on sacred cacti such as peyote and San Pedro, and mycorrhizal symbiosis due to the soil and climate cacti evolved in. It's unlikely that an ecosystem would require a symbiotic connection, But if anybody else knows anything different, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. A lot of this discussion has been pure speculation based on known information about plants and mycorrhizal fungi. But what I believe that is blindingly obvious is that fungi have a crucial and vital role in the ecosystem. Aside from the fact that the ecosystem would fail without fungi, but the role that fungi play in everyday things we use. We don't think about coffee being as abundant and widely available without fungi, or the same thing with chocolate. In my next few videos, I intend to dive deeper into mycorrhizal fungi and its role in the ecosystem and of the earth. Thank you very much for watching.